Good morning. It's about 10 a.m. We are about to eat before the 11 a.m. class. It's Tuesday. All I've done is, I wasn't feeling spicy wings for breakfast, so I've just done 2 eggs over hard with a little bit of garlic, salt, and pepper, half a strip of bacon, leftover salad underneath. So maybe if I'd gotten up super early, like 7 or 8, I might have had a bigger breakfast. But right now I just want to eat nice and light so I can digest most of this before the workout. I will also have a small glass of milk, organic whole milk that I have right now for a little bit of fat, and I'll have fish oil as well. So maybe like 1,000, 2,000 milligrams depending on where I'm at. So that'll be what I have until lunch. Late. Okay, you crazy kids, we are back. Just got done with the workout. PR, jerk, 240. Pretty stoked about that. Wanted to show you what we're going to be cooking for dinner. So Tuesdays I go to teach until 10 p.m. at RCC. Yoshi doesn't get home until 11, so we usually do a slow cooker day. So what we're going to do today is we're going to throw about 2 pounds of chicken in the slow cooker. We haven't got that out yet. We're going to pretty much mash it up and season it in the slow cooker. So I just want to show you what kind of vegetables we're going to throw in. So we're going to throw in 3 carrots. I just do the pull them right out of there. You can choose how many you want. I'm doing by the bag. I use them as I go so they stay fresh. We're going to put in a whole red onion. This is a new bushel of kale. I may not put any of this in there. I'm trying to change it up a little bit. So I got a bundle of, what is this, red chard, which is another super good like leafy green. And I like it because it's got more colors to it. That's like my thing. More colors equals more nutrients. So I probably won't use all this, but I will dice it up into maybe kind of smaller bits so it doesn't get all kind of thin and, you know, crappy. I still want it to have a little bit of texture. I'll probably put on top of it at the slow cooker. So also probably going to do some cabbage. Got half a red cabbage. I'll probably do a quarter of this, maybe a little more, 3/4 of this. Once again, I would use green, but I like having different colors. We have 1 more red bell pepper left over from the stuff we've been using, so we're going to put that whole thing in there. About 10 cloves of garlic, and what I'll do is I'll take these out, I'll pop them on the cutting board with a knife, and that pretty much just splits the shells open. I take them out and I put them in a food processor, and I just kind of give it like 12 little oscillations, and that usually grinds it up pretty good and keeps the flavor. So yeah. All these, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different veggies we're going to throw in there on top of the chicken. And then we will also use a chicken broth to kind of give it some flavor and things like that. So I'll bring you back when we're putting it all in there so you can see what's up. Alright, so I just want to show you guys what I do. So this is, obviously it's still got like all the stuff on it, right? And so it takes forever to get the shell off. So what I do is I lay it down, put the knife on it, just pop it. It cracks it open, you can see, so all that stuff is right in there, and you can literally just take the garlic that you want out, throw it in the food processor. I kind of popped that one a little hard. Boom, like that. And just makes it easy to kind of peel it real quick, because garlic can be kind of a pain in the ass, because not only you got to peel it twice out of the clove, but it's sticky too, so because you can see that was super quick, right? I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 7 cloves total that are going to go in here. Honestly, usually we do about 10 with the slow cooker because there's so much meat in there. Cool. I'll bring you back so you can check out this late. Cool. So food processor is loaded up. I ended up putting 10 cloves of garlic in there. You guys want to check that out? Check it out. See, so about 10 cloves. I got a locker kind of food processor, so I'm going to lock it in. Always covered up. And then pulse was the word I was looking for, so I'm going to do about 12 pulses. Cool. Check it out. Those are pretty thick, right? Well, some of them are small, some of them are pretty thick. I'm probably going to give it 2 or 4 more. Let's check it out. More. So that was 16 total pulses of garlic. And you can see when you're done, you can just take that off and Now I just have a big chunk of diced garlic pretty much. And this is pretty cool. If you got a food processor and you like garlic, you can just throw this, this 10, 20 cloves in the Tupperware, and you can just pull on it all week if you really like this flavor. Cool? So we're going to end up putting that right on top of the chicken so we get the most out of it at the bottom. Coming back later. Alright, cool. So, wanted to do something different for you today, and like I said, we have all this stuff for slow cooker. We like the slow cooker, again, because it makes life easy for us when we come home, everything's done, and really all you have to do is kind of chop stuff up. So, first things first, we're going to take this. This is 2.35 pounds of chicken. And for all you people that keep asking me, like, well, it's really expensive to be paleo because it has to be organic, whatever, and I think, my opinion of it is I just want to eat clean. There's varying degrees. If I can get organic chicken, I will. This is not organic chicken. This is just chicken breast from the store. I got it on sale. I needed it in bulk. So just wanted to kind of, throw you guys a bone there. I think it's all kind of preference. Maybe some hardcore paleo people would scoff at me, but I don't really care. So actually, before I throw a bunch of them in, each layer I'm going to salt and pepper just a little bit. Okay, so I told you I did this yesterday, so you see I just put a little bit of salt in there. And I'm just going to pinch it in over top. Now what I've noticed from the slow cooker is it seems like no matter how much salt I use, it's never salty enough. So just kind of let you know about that too. So I'm going to kind of cross these up. It's 4 breasts total. There might be another one there. Yep. So 5 total. I just stacked them up. Got a little bit left there. I kind of have this hypochondriac thing where every time I touch chicken, I at least got to rinse my hands, if not totally wash them. It's just kind of my thing. So I'll put a little bit more in the hand. I'm going to lose some on this one because I'm still a little wet, but it's alright. So a little bit more. So is that 2 to 3 pinches each. And then this cracker isn't too good, so I would probably prefer more if I could. So anyway, throw that in there. So now next we're going to take the 10 cloves of garlic that we had. I'm just going to come in here and sprinkle that in on top. Most of the time when you do slow cooker, if you've never used one, it's not quite like making stew, but I kind of treat it like it. With stew you can move things around and kind of get it all in the juice or change it up. Once you put this in here, it is what it is. So I like to layer it on how I kind of think it'll cook. So here I want the garlic on the chicken because I want that flavor. Next, I'm going to throw onions on. I have this whole red onion. I'm just going to throw it in there, try and break it up a bit because we want the layers to be flat as possible. And I want my onions to be close to the chicken as well because I really like that flavor. Now next on the list, I'm going to put carrots because they need the most time under water or under broth boiling so that they get soft. And I'm kind of treating it like a stew where I got big chunks. So I'm using big chunks of everything. So you see how large all this stuff is. This is 3 whole carrots, 1 whole onion. Carrots are peeled and then just chopped big. I don't really care about presentation because typically it's just the 2 of us. I care about what's going inside. You'll still see we have tons of food left right here. It'll be alright with things like the cabbage. This is half of the half cabbage, so I guess a quarter cabbage. And I just did like a double dice. Went down and then across, so the chunks are still fairly large. You can check that out. Okay, once again I want the cabbage to be loose. I'm sorry, softer than it would be if it were on the top. So I want to put it where it's probably going to get under. Alright, next we have celery. This is 4 stalks of celery. Now you also notice there's some red celery in here. You can see that. This is actually the base of the chard stem. It actually kind of has the same texture as celery. So I like to use it as such, and once again, because it's a different color, it's containing different kind of nutrients. Celery doesn't have much to go on. I just like it because it's fibrous and it has a pretty good taste. Okay, so second to last here, we have a whole red bell pepper. Now this is already kind of soft, and I want that flavor to kind of drop down towards the chicken. So that's going to go on the top. getting close to the end. And what I'll do before I put on my leafy greens, because they're going to wilt quickly, I don't want them under any kind of broth or water, because I want them to kind of have some texture when I get back to them, but I want them to be kind of cooked. So what I'll do now is I'm going to take free-range chicken broth. This is not organic. Once again, the price difference at the time, didn't care. I just went for it. So I'm actually going to use a cup of chicken broth. Seems like a lot, not going to be too much. Cool. Now remember, there are going to be, and I'm just going to douse it. There are going to be natural juices coming from all these veggies, so it's kind of important to remember, like, don't fill it up to the top because you're going to have some more. Then I'm going to take olive oil. I'm going to use about a 1/4 cup of olive oil. Alright, so booyah. About a 1/4 cup of olive oil. You could mix those two together, I just didn't. Well, I'm going to pour that on top as well. Oh, you know what we forgot, babe? Olives. We're going to put some olives in here. Apparently we forgot, though. So you can see there's almost no fats in this except for the olive oil so far. Now I'm also going to show you, and I have a correction. I thought this was low sodium. I almost always buy low sodium, but I for some reason blew it. This is organic, but not low sodium. I'm also going to put probably 1/3 cup, because once again, it's hard to get that salty flavor. It looks like a lot, but this will last us for 2 days straight. So this will be meals for the next few of these blogs. So just kind of a heads up. All right, so we're gonna douse it in that, which kind of gives it a nice little taste too. And don't forget we salt and peppered the chicken. Cool. Last but not least, we will top with that. But I do want to get these olives in there, so you can cut it and we'll come back in a second. Alright, so drain the juice. Probably don't have to. We're just going to top. This is the only fat besides the olive oil we have in there. And to kind of give you an idea, Zone diet blocks say, I think 4 or 5 whole olives is 1 block, you know, and somebody my size will eat 4 to 5 blocks a day. So this should be, or 4 to 5 blocks a meal, I should say. So this should be plenty. I could probably use more, but we're running out of room, and I can always top this with that. So we took about 2 stems of kale, just 5 stems of chard. Alright, and we're just going to put it on top. We're going to use basically the top to keep it down. So what we'll do is we'll put it on top, we'll mash it down at the top, and it seems crazy right now, but it will actually start to diminish as it gets cooked. So we should be able to fit all that in there, okay? So this will be for tonight. I'll have one more meal before I go teach, and that will be leftovers, so I'm not going to film that. This is a long video, so I'll probably have 4 or 5 chicken legs and a side salad, basically last night's dinner, before I go teach, and that'll be for about 5 to 6 hours. So I'll show you this tonight, and then we'll call it a day. Later. Okay, so it's Tuesday. This is what time I actually get to probably eat. It's 10:45 p.m. I just got home, let the dogs out, sat down. Slow cooker is done. I know it doesn't look that appetizing, but there is tons of good stuff in there. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like when it's done. I'll probably crack some pepper on this, add a little bit of salt if needed, but besides what you saw earlier, this will be it. And just to add so that you guys can kind of see what my daily diet was, I ate 3 leftover chicken wings or chicken legs before I went to rehearsal, which is about 3 o'clock. So it's been a solid 7.5 hours since I ate. Crazy. And then I ate the rest of the salad last night, from last night, which was about probably, I think, a handful and a half. So it was a little bit more than usual, with half an avocado. So I have the other half in there, which I'll probably do for breakfast or something, and just sleep on all these veggies tonight to kind of get all that stuff in. So that's the food for the day, and hopefully it helps. Later.